This is Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. Welcome to Job Search Radio.
Are you looking for a new job or interested in leveling up? Job Search Radio is your go-to resource for insider tips on job hunting and growing your career. Here's your host, Jeff Altman.
Episode 424 of Job Search Radio. This is your host, Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and welcome. I am telling you, I'm feeling great today. And the show I'm doing is one that you may not think is particularly relevant right now when things seem so hot in the job market. But the fact of the matter is, there are going to be layoffs again. And I want to get you ready for when they do happen so that you recognize the signals. Hope you find the show helpful. I hope you don't have to use this, but better to be prepared than sorry. And now, let's get going. Hi, I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. And I've been called the Big Game Hunter because I've been coaching people and hunting down leaders and staff for more than 40 years. Now, right now, we're in relatively good economic times, but that doesn't mean a layoff isn't going to be coming, because the reality is, as you and I both know intellectually, that there's business cycles, and there are good times, and then there are bad times. And when there are bad times, the layoffs come. And when there are good times, no one thinks that they're ever going to be laid off. But I want to get you prepared. I want you to recognize the cycles in how the layoffs come in. So the first stage of the layoff cycle is your office may start to rumble with rumors, and people start to talk and gossip about things that they've heard and what's going to happen next. But the fact of the matter is, the staff doesn't know anything. It's trying to make sense out of what seems like a scary situation. No one really knows anything, and everyone starts to believe something. And as a result, everyone talks, and a lot of people tend to interpret different contingencies and speculate about things they hear from one another that have no basis in reality. Often what starts to happen is absenteeism starts to increase as people become ill, if you get my meaning, or try to get a head start on job hunting. And managers start to approach select employees. So that's the first step. The second one is you're not on the list. A list starts to be rumored about, and you're not on it. And that may be true today, but it may not be true 3 weeks from now. I met with someone a while back who was told that she wasn't on the list. And she was told by her boss, who ostensibly was privy to know who was on the list. But apparently 3 weeks later, she was on the list, and her boss wasn't at the meeting where he was put on the list. And they both wound up being out of jobs. So suddenly you're not on the list becomes you're on the list. Now, what's often helpful is if they give you pre-notice. Like your manager comes to you and says, Susan, you're on the list. And what happens is it gives you a head start on heading for the doors. You know you're going to be fired with the next layoff, so you start looking now. There's a guy I knew some time back who was working for a bank who was told by his boss that he was going to be in the next round of job cuts. So according to bank policy, he knew his severance so he could have the time ready to use this time before the actual layoff to get his resume ready and get out on some interviews. Worked beautifully for him. Now, there's a couple of other contingencies, and that is actually one big one, and that is if you stay until such and such date, we've got a great deal for you. Now, in this situation, you can have an acquiring firm that's going to consolidate, and there are going to be layoffs as a result of that. Now, in an acquisition, sometimes what your management says and what happens when the new management comes in be completely different. So there was an instance where, I'll use the firm's name, Bear Stearns was being acquired by JP Morgan Chase. So there was this support guy who was doing executive support for Bear Stearns, who was approached to stay on with the firm during the acquisition until it closed. And then he was going to get this huge severance. Only one problem. And the acquiring firm wasn't told anything about this. They didn't know anything about the promise that if he stayed on until the end, they double his pay as severance. So I understand why he stayed until the end, but the acquirer didn't know anything about it. So the result was he got the standard bank layoff package from the acquiring firm instead of $180,000. So just be aware that this kind of stuff happens. And when they start talking with you about the sweet deal, particularly in acquisition, you want to know who on the other side of the deal is going to know about this and sign off on it before you get hoodwinked. So that's today's show. I hope you found it helpful. And if you did, here are a few ways to hire me to help you with your job search. First of all, let me just start by saying I no longer do recruiting. So I'm not here to help place you in a job or help find the job for you. However, if you're interested in my coaching you, critiquing your resume and or LinkedIn profile, help you with your networking, prepare you for interviews, help you with negotiation, a whole host of services. Visit thebiggamehunter.us. Use the tabs on the top. Place an order with me. I'd be very happy to help you. I also want to say that, there's a lot of great information at JobSearchCoachingHQ.com, where I have curated information that you can watch, listen to, or read. It's the best of my content to help you with your search. Now, all of my stuff is at thebiggamehunter.us, but people tell me that it's overwhelming. If you want my best, visit JobSearchCoachingHQ.com. I'll be back soon with more, and in the meantime, have a great day. Take care.
If you would like to have Jeff give you advice about your job search, you'll love JobSearchCoachingHQ.com. This site has all of Jeff's books and guides to job hunting available free. The ability to have Jeff answer your questions, plus podcasts and videos that'll help you with all the different parts of a job search, including writing a winning resume and cover letter, great answers to interview questions, how to negotiate effectively, whether you want an easy way or want to get tough, plus a community of people like you who you can get advice from. The site again is JobSearchCoachingHQ.com. That's JobSearchCoachingHQ.com.